Hello and welcome back to Trapunto. My name is Jamie. Last video you saw my quick and dirty cutting for hexagons, and now I will show you how I like to baste my hexagons. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so we are ready to baste. As I said in a prior video, I am a glue baster. I will be making a video on thread basting though. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to show you how I like to glue baste my shapes. We'll start with the pink first. Glue basting is pretty straightforward, and now I still have the air erase lines. Sorry for any background noise. Street gets a little busy sometimes. So I can line up my shape with these lines that I drew on prior. I don't have to if I don't really want to. But what I'm going to do is, this is a brand new stick, and I like to use my stick straight up and down. Some people will go side to side, whatever you're most comfortable with. I will go one across and onto the fabric, and then I will also go on the other side. And then I push up, and just with the weight of my finger, need a little bit more. Just with the weight of my finger, press down. And there's our first side. Turn my shape. This is also where the rotating cutting mat can be helpful, is you can just rotate it on your cutting mat. So again, I will go over the fabric on both sides, one swipe, push up, and gently press. And again. Now, you may notice when I am basting my shape that I am staying away from the edge of the paper as much as I can, because I don't want to have I don't want to have glue on my fabric here, because then I will be stitching through it, and stitching through 4 layers of fabric plus dried glue is not the most fun. Now, this last one can be a little iffy, because if I push it up, see how this is kind of coming up here? So what I will do is I'm just going to quickly grab my Hera marker. So with the Hera marker, what I like to do if I have this issue where my fabric doesn't really want to lie down, as you can see here, it's kind of puckering. I will take my Hera marker and I will run it along the edge of my fabric that's right in here. You might actually be able to use a nail. Let's see if my nails work enough, because then, geez, that'll just eliminate a new tool there. So as you can see, I've kind of creased it. That actually works quite nicely. Let's see how well that goes. And you can see my glue is getting a little wonky. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll just rub a little bit down if it'll behave, and I'll just take a little swipe either side, and again just push it up and over. And as you can see, it is, there's a little pucker in here or whatever. That really doesn't matter for our project. What matters is how your fabric looks on the side. And I know I didn't hack and slash the pink one in my last video, but as you can see, we have a really beautiful hexagon on the front, and that's all that matters. So there's the pink one. And while I didn't cut this one harsh, I want to go through and show you why you don't have to worry about sort of the hack and slashing fabric that I showed earlier. So this hexagon does look a little funny, and you will be able to tell that, these sides look a little too short, and same on this side. But when we place our hexagon here, we still have enough of a seam allowance here, 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 and as well as on the sides. So I don't want to be placing my hexagon too close to the edge, because of course you can see we're not going to have enough coverage. So placing it in the middle, we are going to glue this guy down. Now, some people will add glue onto the back of their paper shape before they baste. So see, you might be a little concerned here that this is looking a little narrower than you might like, but I promise you it will be just fine. Some people will glue on the back of their paper shape just so it doesn't slip slide around when they are glue basting. And you can do that if you feel the need to. I would say that if you are working with larger shapes, that would probably be a good idea, simply because the inch is quite easy to hold on to, and you don't have to worry about it shifting on you too much. But if you're working with, say, a 2-inch hexagon or something larger, then you can glue on the back. And you can see, even though our back looks a little, and again, these little bits don't matter, it's what's on the side, but we have a beautiful hexagon on the front. So if you would like to glue your hexagon down or your shape down before you baste, all you really need to do is you can add a little swipe. Might be a little difficult to see. Place that down, and now that should be held onto your fabric. And then you can just continue your merry way. You can also do this when you are thread basting if you really choose to do that. I have another method that I will share when I get to the thread basting part, which will be another video that I came across that was quite genius. So yeah, let me get these finished and I will meet you on the other side. Okay, so for this last one, I remembered that I have this tool that I wanted to share. So this is a seam pusher, I believe it's called, from Clover. And what it can do is, I guess, basically alleviate finger strain. So when I am gluing a lot of seams, my finger can become a little fatigued. I might get a little, I don't know, like kind of pain on the end of my nail because I'm kind of, my skin is pushing. So this thing you can use as an extension of your finger. So I have glued here, and there's a little divot that you can stick your finger into, and then you just basically pick up your seam and press it down. And there's some of my hyper mobility coming in. That's okay. I have very bendy joints at times. I'll talk about that a little bit more when I get to sewing, but don't let that discourage you. That's just my body. And the other thing, too, that you can use this for is you could use it in lieu of a Hera marker. So you can see they're both quite fine and pointed. And so when you can use either to do that seam creasing that I showed before. So again, and I'm really not pressing hard with this, so you just kind of scoop it up on the bottom and use it to press down. Just got to watch that I keep my finger in a certain way. So it can help with the hand fatigue or the finger fatigue that I mentioned before, and it might add a little bit of time to your basting, but it does a nice job regardless. And, these tools are made for a reason. So if you need something like this, there's nothing wrong with using something that makes your sewing more enjoyable, because that's why we do it. You can also kind of flatten it down kind of nice there. There we go. And now, kind of like similar to the pink one, if I'm getting that puckering, which this one's doing a little tiny bit, you can use this to crease your fabric, just using that sharp edge. And I didn't really demonstrate with the hair marker, so same idea. You just take the curved end and just run it along the edge of the paper up, and then you get that nice crease for when you fold over. Then we shall do the last one. Give it a nice little... All right, and there we are. We have our basted hexagons ready to be stitched. So stay tuned for our next video because I will show you 5 different ways how you can stitch your pieces together. It'll be fun. See you there.